I have some pretty bad news. I have fallen pregnant once again.
Hello, and welcome back to a special episode of the Anastasia podcast. We have someone here today who has a lot of explaining to do. It's everybody's favorite guest. It's not Volky. It's
Hello. It's me.
so this has been a crazy month. I unexpectedly absolute whirlwind. I unexpectedly took a month off from podcasting and probably only even surrendered to the fact that, like, okay, the podcast is just not happening maybe a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. And
There's like 12 people right now that are just dying to get some updates.
you're terrible. No, and then finally we had to just break the news on Instagram because I could not function.
What's the news?
Why don't you tell everyone?
Somebody in the room, probably not me, has fallen pregnant.
I am pregnant again, and I'm 9 weeks today. It's kind of towards the end of March. And this pregnancy is so different than my pregnancy with Magnolia. So I found out 12 days after conception. So again, that was torture once again, because it's like we find out we're pregnant and then it's kind of like, all right back into groove of like, that's what this year is going to look like, picking up where we left off, like right before the miscarriage a month ago. And then kind of out of nowhere, like nausea started creeping in. And then it became debilitating nausea. And all the while we were kind of just, we're slowly waiting for time to pass to make sure like everything is okay with the pregnancy. I waited a couple weeks before I even called my doctor. We had like the blizzard, we had snowstorms. It was just so much going on. It took me 2 weeks to even get in with my doctor because the phones were super backed up. Then we went to our first ultrasound. Like everything was good. We have a strong heartbeat. We were like over the moon.
Magnolia loved the hospital. It was like her favorite thing.
We literally took an appointment at the hospital in the hospital basement for an ultrasound because it's the only thing they had. I went to the doctor's on a Friday and there was only one spot available in the state for an ultrasound the next day. And we just wanted to hear the heartbeat. So it was a Saturday. Your mom had already like helped with Magnolia so many days that week. So we didn't want to abuse her. So we bring Magnolia with us. So we were the ones getting abused.
Let's see. She got 6 different things from the vending machine. She said hi to 20 to 30 people. She had an absolute temper tantrum when we would let her reach into the sharps bin and pick out used needles.
Like needs to be in the biohazard trash bin. Everything is toddler level in these rooms. They have like outlets on the wall that you stick like
Phone.
cords in. Yeah, she's like shoving each of her tiny little fingers in each of them. It was like, and it's funny because I'm like laying on the bed getting the ultrasound and I'm like, this is nothing like the first time. Like it's just like pure chaos and screaming.
But she lost it when she couldn't hold the wand.
Yeah. And it was like an intravenous or intra.
In your veins.
Oh, okay. No, it was like not intravenous. It was an intra
It was intrusive.
because the baby's so small. So, anyways, like we were happy with all of that, but then when we had the ultrasound, we found out I was measuring 6 weeks and 5 days, and I was kind of hoping I was like more on the tail end of 7 weeks, based on like obviously if you're going off of the date of conception, that is almost like 2 weeks after the first day of your last period. So it's like even on the What to Expect app, you can type in, because I'm sure this is like for people who do IVF and like you have your like implantation or insemination day. You can do when it generates your projected due date, you can type in the day of your last period, or you can do the day of conception. Because I knew the day of conception, it's like measuring me a little bit differently. And I was just like really hoping that I was a little bit further along
You also had
because
like a little sliver of hope that maybe you never had a miscarriage and you were actually like way deeper into the pregnancy than you thought.
well, that's what my doctor was saying. Because when I went to go see her, she was like, okay, this is like extremely unconventional. Like, this does not happen. She's like, my first thing I want to do is go get you an ultrasound so we can measure the baby to see if you're like 7 weeks or if you're 12 weeks. Because what had happened after my miscarriage is I just canceled my follow-up appointment for my original appointment with that baby because it was a month out. And I was like, I'm not going to go to the doctor to have them tell me I had a miscarriage. Like, I know I had a miscarriage. and they, like, requested that I come in, but I'm not gonna come in. Like, I'm not gonna find a sitter, and I'm not gonna do all that stuff with Magnolia, like so
There's school,
anyways,
she's gonna break it.
yeah, then that did give me, like, a imagine if I am way further along the and there was so much happening hormonally, like, so much. My first doctor's appointment with this baby is 10 pounds more than my first, doctor's appointment with the last baby, like, a month and a half ago. I'm like all I can say is it just literally feels like my hormones are a storm. Like, I felt like I had no control over my body, and it was, like, absolute ultimate surrender. The first thing I did finding out I was pregnant is I cleared my schedule and, like, sleep was priority because the exhaustion that came with being pregnant, and it really was, like, my expectation of myself every single day completely changed, and I was, like, expecting the fatigue because I remember being tired with Magnolia, but never really leaning into it because we were so go, go, go.
You also didn't have a Magnolia when you were pregnant with Magnolia.
Yes, so, like, my thing with myself this time is I'm like, "Anastasia, you don't you're not operating in the space where it's just you, your husband, and your dog." I'm like, "You have a one-year-old that kinda dictates your entire day, so because Magnolia runs the show, I am not resting all day. I am crawling into bed at night." I was sleeping, like, 8 hours plus every single night, waking up when she woke up, and within the first 15 minutes of waking up, I was exhausted. And then whenever I'd put her down for her nap, I crawled into our bed. I can't nap during the day, but it was just my body needed, like, rest.
A reset.
My body needed a reset, and then she'd wake up and it'd be like, "Okay, round 2," and then it's just, like, counting down the minutes until bedtime, and I'm just, like, not feeling well. Then slowly, like, food aversions started coming up, which was unbeknownst to me because this had never happened with Magnolia, and it slowly started where I would lay in bed at night and think about, like, when I would open the freezer drawer and I would see the dog food because our dog eats raw patties, that was actually fine. It was thinking about the packaging of the chicken in our freezer was making me unwell. It's not even cooked, I don't smell it, it's just the label of the bag was making me sick to my stomach. So my sister came over one day. I gave her all the chicken in our house. I gave her all my Amy Lou chicken burgers. I gave her my Amy Lou chicken meatballs. And I actually even tried cooking them because I'm like, all right, is this more mental? Like, can I just still eat this? And I've never thrown up, thankfully, but the nausea is out of control. Getting it all out of the house was helpful. Then slowly it started to just morph into more. And I was finding that eating something was like curbing the nausea, but the nausea was coming back in less than an hour, and
It's been tough.
it's been tough, and then first it was like stockpiling ginger ale, right? All the natural remedies. Ginger ale, crackers, saltines, ginger chews, ginger candies.
You're gonna end up with a ginger baby.
That worked for literally 2 days, and then crackers made me nauseous, ginger anything made me nauseous. What I'm finding this go around is I will find something that I can tolerate to eat, and after, like, 2 days, I don't ever wanna look at it again, and that is just hard because you're constantly going through things. I can barely cook because food just makes me so nauseous. Last night, it took me, like, hours to place a grocery order. We got back from my brother graduated from Quantico this weekend for his first school. We come home, there's no food in the house, and I'm like, "That's fine, I don't want anything," and then I was like, we have a baby who needs food. I have to buy food.
And a big baby who needs
Yeah, but, like, you could go get food at work, and I'm like, Magnolia needs things at home, so it was kind of like, "All right, I
well, if
have to,
she
like."
got a job, she could get food at work too.
She could. If the dog got a job too, he could go get food. But I was like, "All right, I need to buy things. I need to kind of, like, think about meals for the week, etcetera." And at 11 o'clock, I was like, "Oh, does the dog need chicken?" And you were like, "Yeah." And I type in the search bar "chicken" in the BJ's app, and just the pictures of chicken come up, and I am, like, instantly not well.
And I'm looking at you, I'm like, "What are you doing?"
And I'm like, "I'm fighting the nausea." You had to go downstairs and get me my essential oil, like, sticks to smell that, like
That's actually noise, but yeah.
oh, yeah, well, Magnolia's claimed it, but I have, like, all the homeopathic things. I have homeopathic tablets, they don't work. My sister ordered me the bracelets that have pressure points right here, those don't work. I was this close to buying the electric stim bracelet, but It really is to the point when you reach a level where everything you've tried doesn't work. The doctors told me to take more B6. I'm already taking a prenatal. I'm already taking a bone density complex vitamin because your ligaments soften when you're pregnant. And I had the injury last pregnancy. So I kind of proactively started taking it. I order a B complex that has B6 in it. It's literally not doing anything. The nausea is progressing. It's getting stronger and stronger by day. I just had days where I cried to you, just absolute days because there's no relief of any kind. And you're like, I can't function. And Matt had to go downstairs to get a water. He has a little frog in his throat. But it got to the point where I was so defeated from waking up every single day, and mentally, your mind wants to do things, just do simple, basic things, even like, I want to catch up on laundry. Every single day, the only thing I was accomplishing other than taking care of Magnolia, which I know is a lot, but a lot, right? Like that work matters, is the dishwasher. Like, I was unloading the dishwasher every night and reloading it with the sink full of dishes, and I was crawling into bed. And I just reached my breaking point where after a few weeks of no relief, like, I think I came up on almost a month of just feeling so terrible. I reached out to my doctor because I didn't have an appointment for, like, a few more weeks, and I was like, "I'm not gonna make it." And I, like, really took, like, a much more relaxed, holistic approach my previous pregnancy. I'm like, minimal testing, minimal everything. My body knows the way. It's okay. And this time, like when I had my knee injury last pregnancy and my knee swelled up like a bowling ball and they had to drain it and I was on crutches for weeks, I didn't even take Advil or Tylenol because I thought you couldn't. And my knee was so swollen and it hurt so bad that the blanket moving and touching my knee in bed when I was sleeping at night woke me up and I would cry. Like, I was in so much pain. It kind of felt like the bottom of my leg was, like, almost detached from my leg, and you're pregnant, so you're waking up 5 times a night to go pee, and I'm crutching in the middle of the night to the bathroom. I remember I was at Costco with my sister, and a woman was in there with her 2 kids, and she just looked at me and she goes, "Oh my god, you're pregnant and on crutches? That is just not fair." And I was like, "Women get it." So I end up getting prescribed Zofran, and it's been an absolute huge help, except for when it stopped working. And taking medication comes with its own risks, it comes with its own side effects. I had a lot of moms reach out, well, girls, but they're moms, on Instagram when I posted those stories of like, I am just not doing well. Like, I am not being able to participate in my own life in kind of any capacity. And so many women shared how sick they were during their pregnancies. And people shared, like, I was sick till 12 weeks, I was sick till 14 weeks. Or one of my friends was even like, that was me for my entire pregnancy. And I was like, please, dear God, don't let that be my circumstance because I won't make it. I literally won't make it. I have low pain tolerance as it is, so just being in a constant state of discomfort, it really made me think about people who are, like, sick and chronically sick, and I'm like, it's just a really tough place to be in because you feel bad all the time. So anyways, I get Zofran. For people who, like, have never known what Zofran is or whatever, I think there's, like, 3 FDA, well, actually, it's not FDA approved. Zofran is FDA approved for anti-nausea for people who do chemotherapy, but, like, another use of it has been extremely common for helping women with pregnancy. Doctors, like, have found that it's safe, but it's just not been approved by the FDA yet. It comes in 4 or 8 milligram tablets. I have the 4 milligram ones, and they are the size of a tick. They are so small that when I put it on my tongue, I have to like put it to the roof of my mouth while I'm drinking water because otherwise it swirls around in your mouth and it's like hard to swallow it because it's anywhere in your mouth. And it's so crazy that something so teeny tiny can make such a huge difference in your body. So the first time I took Zofran was like the night that I picked it up from the pharmacy, and it was around like 6 o'clock. And it kind of says like my prescription is written for like take once every 8 hours as needed for no more than 7 days. I'm gonna have to ask about the 7 days. But just reading that and then kind of reading what the original purpose of Zofran is, I was like, I would like to approach this conservatively. I want to go slow. I don't want to rely on it back to back to back. But again, you get to a place where you feel so terrible and you're so desperate, you're just looking for relief. So, that first night, it was, like, good, but, when I was going to bed, my stomach was, like, it was like cramping. And I didn't know if that was like maybe a side effect of the medication, but I was like, all right, if I wake up in the morning and it still feels like this, I'll call my doctor. But I kind of slept it off. The second day, we took Magnolia to the aquarium. I was able to kind of like keep the nausea at bay. You know, if you keep busy and you stay busy and, you know, you eat a little bit here and there, you're kind of like, you're working with a lot of different things and keeping things subsided. But when Magnolia woke up from her nap that day, you know, it's round two with Miss Magnolia. So the nausea became so overwhelming, I had to take it. The third day that I took it, we were packing to go to Virginia, and it was like I didn't even take it. It did absolutely nothing. I would like go get a pair of socks and I'd have to lay down. I'd go get some pants and I'd have to lay down because just walking to my dresser and picking out clothes, the nausea was like here. It was so debilitating. You end up taking Magnolia in the afternoon and I'm laying on our bed. I'm so defeated. I called the nurse. I'm like, this stuff does not help. And it's so hard because every time you call and talk to a nurse at the doctor's office, they start the entire rundown where they're like,
Did you try ginger ale?
have you tried crackers? Make sure you keep crackers at your nightstand. Have you tried ginger chews? What about B6? You're taking B6, right? And I'm like, you're you're in, like, this desperate place of, like, "I need help," and you're like, "Yes, just, like, please look at my file of everything I've sent them pictures of everything that I take." I'm like, "It doesn't help." So, you know, it takes a while to, like, get a hold of the doctor, write back, whatever. They end up calling me the next day, and they're like, "Your only other option is to go to the hospital and get IVs. So, like, next time the nausea is so intense and, like, the medication's not working, you're gonna have to come in and get an IV." This is taking me by such surprise because I had no symptoms with Magnolia. Nothing of this magnitude, nothing like even like a sliver like this, and it's just extremely, extremely humbling.
It's a good thing because if you had this in the first one, it'd be a lot harder to get you on board with having a second.
Yeah, and then it makes me think about, like, all other moms, and I'm like, you know, women who routinely experience this, I'm like, "This is what it's like for you every time, and you wanna keep doing it?" Like, no, like, because there were moments where it's, like, so hard, I'm like, "Matt, like, if it's like this, I don't wanna have more." Because, like, okay, so you're sick for your first 3 months, and you're not sick like, you're sick as a dog, dude. You have aversions to everything, you don't wanna eat, you can't move, you just feel like saying you feel like a shell of a person is not even accurate. You just feel like non-existent almost. And then in context, I do think about the fact that like I am growing a baby. The first 3 months, there is so much happening. Your baby goes from like a spark of nothing into literally like the 12-week ultrasound. The baby is a fully formed shaped baby with like fingers and toes and like a head, a forehead, a nose, eyes, lips, like it really puts into perspective how much is happening in the week to week, but I'm like, "Whoa,
How is this little olive-sized thing taking you down so hard?
how do women work? How do women go to work and, like, use their brain and work on spreadsheets and answer emails?" I'm like, "I have no idea. I can barely function at home." You literally have to, like, do all the cooking right now. You do, like
That's enough to make me wanna get nauseous.
you do so much of the cleaning. You, like, you take charge on everything because you have the oomph to do it. I'm like you never make me feel bad, but you will look at me,
Every once in a while, I want to.
and I swear he'll, like, look at me and be like, "Oh, she's laying down again." Like, I'm always laying down.
That's how I felt when we were packing for our trip.
Yeah,
Every time I came in, I'm like, I'm just gonna leave because I can't even look at her laying there."
I also am not very good at packing. It's always been my, like, Achilles heel.
If there was, like, a number rating 0 out of 10 at packing, you would be a point 5, maybe a point 6.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna, like, contest that. It's really bad. But I will say this past trip, I do feel like that was one of my best packing yet because we
Wore
finished
the same outfit every day.
well, I ended up wearing the same outfit every day when I was there because you also get to the point where you're like, here was my thing about packing for this trip. None of my formal clothes fit because I've gained 10 pounds. So I didn't even bother trying on any of my pants. I'm not going to squeeze into dress pants and then sit down at a formal event and my pants bust open. So I'm like, I'm gonna wear leggings. And like some people dressed casually, some people dressed extremely fancy. I just didn't even let myself go there mentally because I'm not. Do you think I could even go to the store and buy something? No. I basically crawled into the car. You got us there. I existed while we were there. I ate my way through Virginia. And eating my way through Virginia was like, what's not making me nauseous at this moment?
Our trip was basically from the minute we left till we came back, a nonstop roadside buffet
Dude, it was
of
awful.
gas station
It was
garbage.
awful. When we were driving home, Sunday morning, we stopped. It was at a, what are those things called? Service areas or like
This plaza,
Service Plaza in Maryland. And it was one of the ones where you drive and it's in the middle of the highway. So both sides of the highway meet and you go into this one area versus like typically it's, there's one on the left side of the highway and one on the right side of the highway for each
direction.
of travel. I'm like, all I wanted that morning to fight the nausea was a bagel. I'm like, I just want a plain bagel warmed and I want to rip it and I want to dunk it in cream cheese. And in this rest stop, all they have is like Dunkin' Donuts. And I was like thinking about just how nasty Dunkin' Donuts is. And I was like, all right, their bagels are made with terrible ingredients. Their cream cheese is not cream cheese. It has so many fillers and gums and thickeners and preservatives. And I'm like, but you know what? We're just trying to make it home. Like this 7, 8 hour drive. It is what it is. It's 5 something AM.
Still dark out
We're like the sun's not even up and there's a line.
because everything in there is closed except for Dunkin'.
This huge man is just standing at the front of the line. He turns
We'll
around.
call him Jesus.
No. Who did you say he looked like again?
Uh, I don't even remember.
I don't remember either, but you were like, "Oh my god, that's his wife?" His wife was like 3 feet shorter than him. She was like but he just turns and he looks at everyone. He's like, "No bagels." I was like, "Whoa, that made my life so much easier."
Because there was a line of like 40 people.
And then we're walking out, and then you're like, "You don't even wanna go look, like, at the store." Like, it's kinda like a
Gas station.
convenience store. And I was like, "Alright, fine, let's go look." And I'm, like, looking, and there is a difference when it's the beginning of vacation and you're, like, so excited to get different snacks at the gas station. You're like, "Yeah." Vacation versus the end of a vacation. I go up to, like, those things that are, like, huge oval, there's all different shelves, and they have, like,
Prepared.
apples, yeah, and, like, mini charcuteries, and they had, like, little mandarin like, fruit cups and things like that. Everything there starts with being $4. Like, a cup of mandarin slices is $4, and it's the same ones I buy Magnolia, where it's a pack of 20 of them is $10. And I'm just like I was just to the point where I was like, "I can't even do this anymore." Like, every place we've stopped between me and you, literally getting, like, a snack was, like, $40, and it's just first of all, you don't want anything at that point. You and I both looked around the whole store, and we're like, "Eh." And you're like, "Nothing?" And I'm like, "Nothing." And then we leave, and I'm like, even if I got, like, an apple and a mandarin, I don't wanna spend $10 on an apple and a mandarin. I would rather fight the nausea.
You had apples in the trunk, by the way.
I didn't even know that, and keep going. But here was the best part. We keep driving, and then I just look up, like, bagels on the GPS because I was like I I was actually kinda glad because I was like, "I don't even want Dunkin' anyways." Like, Dunkin' is so gross. Bagels, and then a Panera comes up 4 minutes away off, like, a real exit, and I don't know why there were no signs for this Panera. I guess it was actually not 5 AM, it was 7 AM because we got to Panera at 7 and it opened at 7, so I don't know. It maybe because it was still dark out 'cause the daylight savings, whatever.
Oh, we also blew a half an hour just parking, getting out, walking around the server
True.
crash, and going to the bathroom, getting back in the car,
Very
letting the
true.
dog pee.
There's no concept of time. It's not my season to have any concept of time. My husband tracks time for me. So we go to Panera and it was okay, so cool because they had all the baker's racks out. They had just baked all their bread for the day. Everything was perfectly fresh. And in the bins, there was only cinnamon crunch bagels, cinnamon raisin bagels, and Asiago. And I was like, "Are these the 3 bagels that you have?" And she's like, "No, we have them all. I just haven't put them out in the baskets yet." And I'm like, "We were literally like the second people there." We get a cinnamon crunch bagel, you do. I really didn't want sugar, but I will say yours smelled incredible. And I got an Asiago bagel and just taking a bagel and dunking it into the cream cheese. The cream cheese at Panera has like 4 ingredients. You got grass-fed butter for your bagel. I was like, and I just can't tell you, like, it's the little things. They just make you feel so much better. I had an ungodly amount of cream cheese, and it was delicious. And I was like, "I can't wait to eat another bagel tomorrow." And then I was thinking about how sad I'm gonna be because in probably 2 days, bagels will make me nauseous.
Mhm.
But what
And that's where the 10 pounds came from.
yeah, me, I have no idea why I'm gaining weight. Also me. I'm eating
I will take
buckets
1 Home Depot bucket of cream cheese and 12
literally.
bagels.
Literally, but yesterday I was like, "Okay, I've been wanting to prep food for Magnolia for a while to, like, especially in this state when I have such tiny pockets of, like, nauseous-free, can-do, like, time during the day that I'm like, "All right, I'm gonna make mini bagels because I don't wanna use enriched flour, like, I don't wanna use preservative bagels that, like, got baked weeks ago at some factory and they're still perfectly soft. I'm gonna make bagels from scratch, I'm gonna add in some sourdough, and I wanna do mini bagels, and then I wanna make little, like, pizzas for her, and then if I freeze them, I can vacuum seal them. Then I ordered some, like, clean chicken nuggets, and I'm thinking of just little easy things where I can make 1 or 2 at a time, and if she's having a really picky day and she's not eating well, it's okay to, like, toss it, and I don't feel so guilty when I'm, like, making this huge meal and she's not eating any of it, etcetera. But I looked up how to make homemade bagels and how to make homemade cream cheese, and I will say, I think I'm gonna make homemade cream cheese once, and I don't think I'll do it again after then because I don't think there's any cost difference, and I think if you're buying a good quality cream cheese you don't even eat cream cheese, so you don't care, but, like, a gallon of organic whole milk is, like, 10.99. I don't know what the volume of cream cheese that you will yield after doing that, but cream cheese is just warming milk, adding in fresh squeezed lemon juice, letting it curdle, you separate it, you add in salt to what's left over, you put it in a cheesecloth and let it, like, drain, squeeze it out, and the, like, texture like, the mixture that's left over of the curdle, you put in a food processor and you salt to taste, and then you put it in the refrigerator. The leftover liquid, it's called, like, whey, and you can, like, put it in your garden. That's where all the protein where a lot of the protein is left. You can add it into, like, baking, which I'm thinking I wanna prep her, like, mini pancakes, I'll use that, but, then you're having to think of how to utilize this whey, which is like a tang. I'm like, I'm sure you could make, like, kefir, but I'm trying to be realistic with myself on what I really have energy levels for, so I really think I'll make cream cheese once and then I'll just buy it, but
You're gonna be
probably
nauseous from cream cheese before you ever even finish making the cream cheese.
yes, that is accurate. That is so accurate. Because when we went to the aquarium, we stopped at a local coffee shop, and I was, like, so excited at, like, all the bagels they had and
You
the
probably
cream
haven't
cheese
had a
that
bagel in, like, years until all of a sudden and that's what set off your bagel
I mean,
church.
I had the bagels when I was pregnant, like, a month ago or, like, not a month ago at this point, like, in January, and I was like, "Why am I craving bagels?" But I was eating those low-carb bagels, and I was like, "These are the best things I've ever eaten." I was like, "The last time I ate bagels, I was pregnant with Magnolia, and they were the best things." But there's just something about a good bagel, but even bagels you buy at the store, like, if I can make them at home, I can make them, like, the right size. I'll really know the ingredients. It won't have stuff that preserves it and keeps it fresher longer. I can kinda make them, keep in the fridge what we need, freeze what we don't need, and then live our best life. So now that I've talked about cream cheese and bagels for 20 minutes,
Amen.
amen. What's been the hardest part for you this go around?
It's always the hard part for me is dealing with your ups and downs,
Mm, and Lord knows I have a
emotionally,
lot of them.
hormonally,
Mhm.
just all of it in general. You love me, you hate me, never loved anybody more than me, you can't stand me, get away from me, that whole night.
But what do I say, like, every single night when we go to bed? I'm like, "I love you so much. I'm so lucky. You're the best. You take such good care of us." I went today, you went to go kiss my belly, and then I went and hugged you. I'm like, "We're so lucky. Like, I love you so much." I really do love Matt so much. It's just like, when they
You'd
say,
think
like
to get spicy.
when they say, like, their humor made you fall in love, but then when you marry them, like, their humor is what makes you wanna kill them? Like, it's that kind of stuff. It's normal. Every wife knows.
Mm.
But that's basically been it. Like, I still wanna do podcasts where I talk about that book, Beyond the Pill, and I wanna talk about infertility and fertility, and I wanna talk about kind of current event things because so much happened the other week with Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. I watched Love is Blind, all these kind of current things. physically did not have the energy to communicate about any of them.
And we're definitely not gonna catch me on the Woman Wives podcast.
Yeah, but even the sad thing about that is, like, I don't even care anymore, like, it's, like, old news, and it's not even that it's news, it's just, like, I have, like, my girlfriends that I talk to about it, and we process it, and now I'm just like, "Okay, I don't wanna talk about this." It's like beating a dead horse. So, that's basically the gist of today's podcast. It's letting everyone know I've been down in the dumps for a month. Matt has been carrying our whole family.
We're crawling out one step at a time.
Yeah, but Noli's doing great. She had, I think, her first real tantrum yesterday, and I was like, she's getting older and we're just like still adapting to what this is. We took her on a walk last week where she walked in the woods by herself and it was so annoying. I was like, I literally like it when she's smaller. Like this independence, it's like a whole nother learning curve. And then it turns out like actually she shouldn't even be allowed to walk in the woods yet by herself because all she wants to do is touch every single stick and twig that grows. She tries to crawl off the bridges into the water. It's like 20 degrees
Yeah,
outside.
dog's in the water, so she gets to be.
She's freaking pissed that he's in the water and she's not in the water, even though she's in, like, full snow garb.
Try to get her to hold your hand, she slaps you,
She's
like,
pissed,
"Slap
she doesn't wanna hold
away."
anyone's hand. It's
Tell her no, and she just loses it.
doesn't wanna hear it because she never hears no when she's at her favorite place on earth. No, it's not Disney, it's grandma's house.
Mhm.
You wanna tell everyone what you got Magnolia the other week?
Uh, yeah, I guess we could spill the beans. She's gonna be a farmer now.
Yeah.
We got her a John Deere tractor and a trailer to accompany it.
What sparked you getting it? What's her favorite thing every day when she goes outside?
Well, when we go outside to go either for a hike or to play fetch with the dog, the first thing she does is run over to the tractor, point at it, and go,
Tractor, yeah. She loves touching, like, she can reach, like, the wheel and the rim, and I think for her, it's so fun because one of her favorite books that she reads with you is Trucks, and it's
Mm.
all about all different kinds of equipment, and it's just so funny.
Trucks, tractors, skid steers, excavators.
Mhm. So she, like, recognizes the tractor, and in her Animal Farm books, there's tractors and stuff there too, so it's really cute. You found a great deal, we went and picked it up, and it was just, like, her legs aren't long enough yet to, like,
Really operate it.
but it's good because she needs something to do as the weather's gonna be warmer when we go out and play with the dog because right now she's just on foot, and this girl wants to get into everything, and I'm like I said to you last night, I'm like, "I wanna get a leash. I wanna get a leash that she kinda puts on like a backpack, and I'll put it around my waist because she gets into any and everything. She doesn't wanna hold hands. She wants to be independent, and, like, I don't have the patience for it."
She likes doing something you tell her not to do too. Like the other day, we looked at the tractor, we played fetch with the dog. I turned my back for like half a second. She's walking towards the road. I look at her and tell her, no, don't go in the road. She looks back at me and goes, "Hmm," and then just starts walking towards the road. And then as soon as we get there, I'm like, okay, maybe she wants to walk along like the curb on the way to the mailbox or something. Nope, she wants to go right across the street, like
Mhm.
perfectly perpendicular to the road.
Okay, I just have to share the story of this morning. Um, so Magnolia and the dog, it's really sweet to see their relationship continue to like blossom and bloom. And even when we came home from Virginia, we got home first because Virginia's south and your parents are like northwest of us, kind of. So we get home, we unload the car. The first thing we do is hike the dog because he just spent all that time in the car. And we get home and we're kind of like slowly unpacking things, figuring out, like, when are we gonna go get the baby? She's napping at your mom's. Your mom ends up bringing her over. But before that happened, the dog is kind of like, "All right, we're home now. Where's that thing?" And the dog's, like, going in her room, sniffing around, like, he's looking for her, and he kinda looks all around the house, and he's like, "Where is this baby?" And you can tell he came in our room, and he's kinda like, "Where is she?"
You guys forgot something.
So she comes home, they're so happy to see each other, and she's been building up. She loves taking these treats that we got for the dog, and she breaks them, and then she'll, like, keep breaking them and keep giving pieces to the dog, and what she likes to do is, like, she, like, stands and gets ready as she's breaking it, and then we will give the dog commands, so we're like, "Volky, sit," and then he'll, like, sit. I'm like, "Alright, you have to give him a treat," and, she gets excited, she'll throw him a treat, and then we'll tell Volk to speak or, like, give paw or lay down or roll over, and it's so fun to see her interact. And this was, like, her first time since, we were away and we come back, where this morning she's, like, getting so excited and she's breaking the treats. She's holding 2 treats. Volky does, like, 3 tricks, and I'm like, "Okay, Magnolia, you have to give him the treats." Like, the dog is so excited, his tail is shaking.
Yeah.
And then she's, like, in spirit of rebelling, She shoves both pieces of his treat in her mouth and she like vice grips them with her teeth. And I'm
Just
like
clamping them down.
literally like a bear trap. And I'm trying to pull them out of her mouth. I'm like, first of all, disgusting.
Mhm.
Second of all, no. And I literally can't get them out. I have to call you. You're like,
I had to stick my finger in her mouth and, like, twist it and use it like a lever to pry her jaw open. Like, I almost cut my finger probably. Her teeth are sharp as shit.
that's what I was gonna say. You're literally cutting your fingers on her sharp teeth, and she's just laughing, like laugh. And there was so much treat in her mouth because it was two treats. I'm like, you're sick.
Mhm.
You're so sick.
What'd she do 5 minutes after that?
I was about to say, and then after that, like she's like, fine. She goes and gets busy by dunking her feet with her pajama
Just 1 foot first.
in the dog's water bowl, just experimenting.
She's
I'm
on
just
she's on 2 hands and 1 foot, and the other foot is in the air, and she's looking at me, and I said, "Don't you do it." And she goes, drops her foot right in,
this kid is
looks at
one.
me, laughs, and then takes her foot back out, and I'm like, "I said no." And she stands up and then just puts both feet in.
She is 1. She's 15 months. She's 1, and she just the exploration is, like, too much for me. This is I used to not understand, like, when people would say 2 under 2, it's like, "Yeah, okay, but, like, it's only for such a tiny bit." Here is the whole big deal about 2 under 2. When you are going through 9 months of pregnancy, where you're fatigued, you're nauseous, you're all of these things, and chasing your toddler, it's a completely different animal and it's another level of exhaustion. And then it makes me think back to everything that I saw online when I first had Magnolia, and moms would be like, pregnancy tired with a toddler is more exhausting than newborn tired with a toddler. And they're like, just wait till you have that baby. It's completely different. You're physically more tired during pregnancy than you are with like being in the newborn trenches. And I'm actually looking forward to that because I've never experienced something like this. Magnolia, you can't just let her exist. You're physically with her everywhere. She wants to be in everything. She wants to do what you're doing. You have to like think of how to distract her all the time. And by distract, I mean like if you're cooking, she wants to be right there with you. But like if you're
He
using
literally walks into
knives
the front room, gets her wooden stool,
or toddler
which
stool.
weighs like 20 pounds, and somehow picks it up and drags it to the counter.
Yep. My favorite thing is I just open the cooking utensil drawer for her. There's no knives in there. It's all the like spatulas and like whisks and ladles, and she just goes ham in there. But then immediately after doing the dog's water bowl, you're picking up the water bowl. She walks in the bathroom and she's lifting the toilet seats. And I go in there, I'm like, Magnolia, don't touch that. She lifts she lifts the lid, then she lifts the seat. I'm like, Magnolia, no. She just looks at me and shoves her hand in the water. And I'm like, you just take her and like forcefully remove her. You're like, mom said no. And it's like, she doesn't care. She
No.
literally does not care. And I'm like, I remember fearing my parents growing up, like, what's going on here? And you know that audio from Step Brothers where it's like, I like to have a lot of fresh fruit around here. And it's like
Mhm.
your kid when they come from grandma. It's like, that's literally Magnolia. Your mom brought her yesterday, and I swear she threw her first tantrum.
Like a legitimate tantrum.
She doesn't care to even say hello to me, just didn't see me for days.
She did hug me though.
She was so happy to see dad. I was like, "This is BS." Immediately walks to the freezer, pulls it open. She's like, uses which is like not good that she knows how to open the freezer,
Yep.
and grabs a popsicle. And I'm like,
And wants to
"Okay."
hold it by the actual popsicles
And
part.
anytime she brings me something like from her snack basket or anything, what she does is she brings it to me, and we get close, and I go, "Okay, let's say please, please." She can say p, she can't say please, but I'm trying to instill the habit of like, please open, screaming, won't say p, flailing her arms, throwing things, hitting. I'm like, whoa, what? It was like 0 to a
My
100.
mom's like, "She didn't act like this for me."
Yeah, I'm like, and then your mom's like, I feel so bad. You should just give it to her. I'm like, give it to her. I open the freezer and put the popsicle back and close it, which sends Magnolia in literally
Off the
another
deep
spiral.
end.
And I'm like, who is this kid? I'm like, oh, someone who's had every want, need, desire met for
I'm
3 weeks.
starting to get scared for Magnolia though, because I saw the eyes that you were giving her, and those are the eyes you give me sometimes when you tell me to stop, and I don't.
No, and usually with Magnolia, if she wants a popsicle, she will hold it by the stick because you can't grab like a whole Edie's bar by hand, like, it is a whole mess. Wait for her to calm down a little bit, and normally how we eat them is, like, the novelty of her holding it wears off, and she'll let you hold it, and if you pre-bite, like, the top, she'll lick it, and then she'll take some of the popsicle, and, like, then she'll eat a popsicle, and she's fine. But I was just not expecting the intensity of that rebellion, and I'm like, "You're literally 1. You're not even 2. Like, stay in your lane." So, you know what? If you wanna act like an adult, I'm gonna treat you like an adult.
Get a job.
No, what did I order for her? What came in the mail yesterday?
Oh, potty.
Yeah, so I'm really excited. We're not starting potty training yet. She's 15 months. But I know conventionally, like, they used to potty train kids by 18 months. I think my mom potty trained all of us early because their culture, like, it's diapers that you wash. Like, there were no disposable diapers. Like when me and my sister were little, that was like an America thing. So I just at 18 months, they say you can start. I just want to introduce her to what the potty is. We bought a book called Princess Potty because I'm learning she's learning so much when we read certain books repetitively at night. Every night we read this book called Goodnight God, and she gets her hands together and we recognize all the characters and the grandpas and the dogs and the cats and
The
the
moon.
horses and the drums and the sun and the moon and all the stuff. So I'm like, all right, if we start reading this potty book and she starts to really understand what's going on, we'll see how it goes. Got her some jelly beans. The book,
Those are almost gone, by the way.
I know I shouldn't have opened them. Matt and I are like really hitting them hard.
I don't even like jelly beans.
Me either, but it's just something to do. Magnolia likes them 3, but the Princess Body Book comes with a crown that she can wear when she goes on the potty, and every time she goes potty, you put a jewel sticker on it, and I'm like, "How fun." She'll probably rip it.
Oh, definitely. Or she'll get pee on it.
Hopefully not, but, we'll see how that goes, but so far, we're just holding on. We're doing our best to manage the nausea, taking it literally day by day. Your mom is my favorite person because her taking Magnolia, it's the only relief. Like my body can melt into how sick I feel instead of like, yeah, I'm sick when I'm taking care of Magnolia, but like, you're doing your best. So you feel so much worse. At least I can take care of myself, I guess, when your mom has Magnolia, which is great because pouring back into myself that little bit and taking extra time to rest
Even just doing grocery shopping.
is literally like helping me. Yeah. Today, being able to drop her off, go pick up groceries, kind of sort out what I need to do. And always your help as well. And all my friends who check in on me and never ever tell me that I'm complaining. And
Yeah, keep it real.
so, anyways, that's all we have for this week. We're 9 weeks pregnant. Oh, last thing. Today, after I dropped off Magnolia, I went to Baja's to get shrimp tacos at 11 a.m.
That will be the new thing for the next couple days.
Yeah, like 2 days, and then it's gonna be over. But I bumped into someone who I know, and they had their first ultrasound today, and they are also 9 weeks pregnant today, like I am 9 weeks pregnant today. And last week, I had just said, "All right, God, who do I know who's in my orbit, who's in my circle, who's pregnant?" Because I was pregnant with my best friend last time I was pregnant, and it was so fun to have someone that we were so close step and step through the whole pregnancy. And I was just like, I really wish, like, someone who I know could be pregnant too, so we can kind of do this in stride together. Super exciting. I hope her and I both have super smooth, easy pregnancies, and everybody who's right now trying to get pregnant or is pregnant just finding out, wishing everyone the best.
Oh, man.
And don't be afraid of taking Zofran, but make sure you hydrate and have fiber and maybe other things.
Sounds like the name of the New York City mayor.
Yeah. Wait, what's his name?
Zoran?
Mom Donnie or something? Yeah. All right, we'll see you guys next time, or at least I will. Bye.